Hi friends, welcome to our weekly Wednesday update. Happy to have you join us today. I have Maury Page with Mevo Creations here with me today, and he's going to be asking me a couple of questions. But before we get to that, Ben is not here. I know last week we talked about the fact that they were having a baby. As things turned out, they did not have a baby. The baby is just a little bit stubborn and decided to hang in there because it was more comfortable inside mama instead of being born. But today at 8 o'clock they had their appointment for inducing. So hopefully by the end of the day we'll have another little Kono baby to join the world. And so we're looking forward to that, and we wish them the very best. We send them our prayers and our love. So just a little bit, Maury, one of the things we want to talk about is why you should hire an agent that has an assistant to help you make sure that details get handled. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, good morning, John.
Good morning, thank you.
So how long have you been in real estate?
I've been in real estate for 16 years, soon to start my 17th year in real estate. So yeah, I started out as an unlicensed assistant.
Okay, so the industry has probably changed a lot in that time frame during your career. So can you tell me when you first hired an assistant?
Sure. So let's go back to when I first started. I started as an unlicensed assistant. Didn't know what I was getting into, but it sounded like a lot of fun, and they said it would be easy.
Yeah.
It's not an easy job, but it sure is rewarding, and it's an awful lot of fun. So I started as an unlicensed assistant, became licensed, and then moved off onto my own. And about 6 years ago, Grace Oakley and I started working together, which is interesting. Today we are having a memorial luncheon for Grace at her favorite restaurant, Red Lobster. Grace was an integral part of our company, and everyone knew Grace, and we miss her every day, and we love her. Loved her a lot. So we started working together back in 2013. Grace was wanting to slow down a little bit. So in exchange for what she did for me, I would take care of her clients, and we would share in the revenue that way. And so she had the benefit of receiving pay without having to do the I'll call it the real estate hard work, which probably is maybe a misnomer because it's all hard work. But she took care of a lot of the detail stuff. There were things that she couldn't do. One of the things that Grace really did that amazed me was when there was some new technology piece came out, she would drag her feet, kicking and screaming, and why do we have to do that? But she always embraced it, and she always learned how to make things work. So I was always appreciative of Grace's work and the fact that she knew so many people. One of the things that just always impressed me is we would be out driving around. She'd say, well, I sold that house, and she could remember the people that she had sold it to. Quite an amazing person. So as things changed, Grace continued to work for me, and then we formed our team, my SMART team, and Grace was a part of that team as well. So she did a lot of stuff for us that just made our jobs easier. And she was always a planner. She was always looking ahead and figuring out how to get things done. Grace had an uncanny ability to find properties for people. She had an ability that I don't possess. She would be thinking, oh, that property would fit for so-and-so. So I missed that. Ben, on the other hand, has that, and that's been a good thing. So, Maury, we hired Alison to start working for us, doing some assistant work back in July of last year. And what she has done is she's taken a lot of the small detail-oriented stuff off of my plate, enabling me to focus on the larger picture. And that has been just an absolutely wonderful transition for our team, and we are on pace to have a really good year this year. So I'm really excited about how things are going with our team, and we keep looking for ways to improve and even make it better. So Allison's role as our licensed assistant is to take care of the detail work, make sure that all the details leading up to the listing or to the closing are being handled and that things don't fall through the cracks. And that's probably the biggest thing, is to make sure that stuff doesn't fall through the cracks.
Yeah, it's a lot to keep track of, so I'm sure having Alison around helps immensely.
There are a lot of things to keep track of. Just on a traditional real estate transaction, just on the listing side of it, there's about 65 things that we do to get that ready to go. And on the contract side, once we get a contract, I need to look at our checklist to remember, but it's well over 50 things there. So there's just so much that goes into this, and it's easy for details to be lost or forgotten or dropped. And our assistant Allison has made that so much easier for us. So great.
Yeah.
So that would be the tip, is to hire an agent that has an assistant. And
Right.
so when you're interviewing agents, make sure you ask that question: do you have an assistant that works for you? And how does that flesh itself out? What does the assistant do for you? So for our community tip event, JaxNaz is having a Women's Expo this Saturday, November the 9th, from 10 to 3. And if you want to get started on your Christmas shopping early, there are going to be over 100 vendors there. It's going to cost you $1 to get into the door, but you can get a good start on your Christmas shopping. JaxNaz is at 3905 Clinton Road, and stop on out and take a look and get some early Christmas shopping done. And even when I say that, Christmas comes 4 weeks after Thanksgiving this year, so it's never too soon to start. And Maury, I don't know if you've got your shopping done. But,
I try to wait till December, or Christmas Eve is usually when I start to think about Christmas shopping.
Okay, well, maybe you can change that pattern
Maybe you
and
can
start
bump that up
planning a
little
year
bit.
ahead.
There you go.
Start shopping this year on Christmas Eve.
Exactly, for next year.
For next year.
That makes sense.
So anyway, that's our tip for the day, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week, and have a great day. And she always learned how to make things work. So I was so appreciative of her. You can cut that out, right?
Yeah.